Greetings and salutations, you wonderful people. This is Angel, and we're continuing our Let's Play of TFTC Reimagined with the final mission of Battle 5. We are finally ready to engage Harkov's fleet directly and capture Harkov himself. Lord Vader will personally oversee this operation from the Imperial-class Star Destroyer Devastator. He has brought along an Interdictor-class cruiser to prevent the enemy fleet from escaping, so they'll have no choice but to turn and fight. Against two Star Destroyers and our support fleet though, they don't stand a chance, even with the Rebel forces aiding them. Our scouts have reported that Harkov himself is currently on the Rebel platform, so capturing it will be essential. This will also give us further opportunities to interrogate more Rebel prisoners for information about their activities. All other enemy forces are to be completely annihilated. We must make an example of anyone who turns traitor against the Empire. You will be flying an assault gunboat designated Mu-1 with 5 wingmen and armed with concussion missiles. You will support our other squadrons, giving cover to our bombers and intercepting any torpedo attacks against our own fleet. As you are facing both Imperial and Rebel fleets, you will face a wide variety of enemy craft, including the few remaining TIE Advanced class fighters still in Harkov's possession. Once Harkov has been located, assist our assault transports in disabling their targets so they can capture it.
Harkov could still have an ace up his sleeve, so be prepared for anything. He may also try to escape on another ship once discovered, so be ready to inspect any new shuttles or transports trying to flee the area. It is imperative that Harkov be captured alive, so we can learn of any other traitors within our midst.
So, we're going to capture Harkov. It's another big fleet battle this time. This one took a while to design and refine.
Himself will lead the assault.
One of the big story points here that bothered me in Classic, before we start getting interdictor cruisers, it kind of bothered me that why don't they just jump away
on the Rebel platform?
You know, we show up clearly with the intent to destroy. Harkov can just take the protector and bugger off. There's nothing to stop them from just jumping away before this becomes an issue. So in this case, I have added an interdictor cruiser so they cannot escape. But this actually caused another problem. I then had to solve the issue of, well, how do they escape? Because they need to escape in order for Battle 7 to happen, at least the first part of Battle 7, where we destroy the rest of the Protector and its fleet. So, I solved one problem and created another. And this created the most technically challenging parts of designing this mission for me. I'm just going to shut up for one moment though, because there's a little voiceover coming up.
Information. The fleet is ready.
I love that visual there, those TIE Advance coming in.
Remember, Harkov must be taken alive.
Yeah, that's me doing the Vader voice. That turned out a lot better than I expected to. Obviously I'm no James Earl Jones, not by a long shot. But I think that turned out pretty well. Certainly when I gave it to several people to test, they were actually quite surprised how Vaderish it sounded. Yeah. Anyway, love the visuals of the TIE Advance coming. That was an accident. They just they start off at high speed and then slowed down, and they actually matched our speed. So it was just a nice accidental visual I created there of them just flying overhead. And then we got this nice fleet entrance here. I wanted the player to feel like, okay, this is we've got this. It's going to be a bit of a tough fight, but this is going to be a victory. But I'm going to circle back now to the interdictor problem. So as I was saying, it was technically one of the most difficult things for me to make in this mission was, how do we get rid of the interdictor? Because this is a pretty big fight. I mean, the enemy fleet can't really stand up to our fleet. And I didn't want this to be another, bomber mission where you got lots of bombers throwing lots of torpedoes at the interdictor. Plus, it wouldn't be as effective because the interdictor is positioned in such a way that it's surrounded by the other capital ships. So it's got a lot of screening going on. So I took a bit of inspiration from Rogue One here, and in this fleet is a Hammerhead corvette. You can just see it off in the right hand side there, flanked by 3 other corvettes. And I thought the best way to actually do this is for the rebels to become desperate and basically do a suicide attack and ram the interdictor and knock it out of the fight. I guess this is also a bit of inspiration from Rebels, except I hadn't seen the Rebels episode yet where the interdictor was rammed by the Quasar carrier. Spoilers. So yeah, and you'd think, okay, well, ramming it, that's pretty easy. Yeah, no, it's not. First off, the Hammerhead corvette gets destroyed before it gets to the corvette, so I had to basically turn it into an invincible ship. Which, in the end, I mean, the amount of fire it gets by the time it gets there, I kind of like the idea that it's just this flaming wreck by the time it hits the interdictor, but, you know, it's just sheer mass momentum at that point that rams the interdictor and destroys it, as much as the ship is ruined. The second problem is again, a problem of hit point numbers. The Hammerhead doesn't have as many hit points as the interdictor, and in terms of ramming, at least normally, the interdictor is just going to win in terms of raw numbers. So again, this means I had to make the Hammerhead invincible. But then this leaves a problem. Once the Hammerhead has done its job and rammed and killed the interdictor, because it's invincible, the Hammerhead is still there. So I then had to add in a self-destruct order to the Hammerhead. So as soon as the interdictor is destroyed, it switches to its next order, which is to self-destruct instantly. However, because of the way the game works, if you look at once the ramming happens, the Hammerhead corvette manages to stay on the scene for another 2 seconds before it actually ends up exploding. That's the best I could do, but at the end of the day, I'm quite proud of what I actually managed to come up with in making it work. And so by doing this, the interdictor is destroyed, and it allows Harkov's fleet to escape, and Harkov himself to try and escape on a shuttle. And it solves all the problems that I was having, both narratively and gameplay-wise, of why this fleet didn't jump, but can now jump away. As for the battle itself, the only other little critical point of failure here is that you will get attacked fairly often, so either you can be killed, or when the shuttles and transports move to escape, you really don't have a big window here to inspect and disable them, so you have to be on the ball, get there quickly, and intercept and disable them. But other than that, that's the only real point of failure in this mission. You don't have to worry about your friendly capitals. I mean, I know the mission says, you know, screen our fleet from enemy bombing runs, but nothing's in real danger here, so you really don't have to pay attention to the bombers. The rest of the fighters will do that. So for you, it's just a lot of dogfighting. You can shoot at the corvettes. I did put them at pretty high AI skills, so, you know, and the Hammerhead itself is quite lethal, so it's generally not advised to attack them. But here we go, here's the big moment. I wanted these 3 corvettes to basically sacrifice themselves, taking as much fire as possible, and then it allows the Hammerhead corvette to just charge in at high speed. And there we go, you see the entire fleet now is going to start shooting at that Hammerhead. It's already at like 1% hull, and there we go, dead. And it took so many attempts to refine that sequence, because I had to get the orders right, I had to get the formation of those corvettes to line up right, that they all break off at the right time, they go different ways, and yeah, lots and lots of playtesting. As I've said before, I can't just jump into a mid-mission checkpoint here. I have to play through the entire mission. What's the... so we're at the 6-minute mark, 6.5 minute mark. So I have to play through every 6 minutes and get to this point and make sure it gets to this lovely moment. So the 2 capital ships that can be destroyed here are the frigate we just destroyed and the Margaret. The Margaret's much harder to kill. but the frigate we just destroyed there does not show up again in Battle 7 because I'm kind of assuming that it will be destroyed, and even if it does escape, well, we're just going to assume it gets destroyed off mission or it's just too badly damaged to be of use anymore to Harkov's fleet. And that's one way to kill an interceptor, just let it ram you and you take the hit from your shields. So you can see there, the protector's already gone. I think the strike cruiser's gone as well, and there's the Akaga. Bye bye. Harkov's fleet has escaped. So at this point, what you want to do as soon as that interceptor is really gone is to try and make your way to the platform, because you can see here we've already got one shuttle, shuttle Toten. You might remember that from
A shuttle just
Battle 2 Mission 5.
It must be Harkov.
And this is quite tough because the platform will also shoot at you, and it's tough with the gunboat's sluggishness to not get hit by the platform, as you can see there. My shields are already pretty weak. But there we go, one thing down. Stop hitting me! Okay, next transport. Bit further away from the platform now. I think the shuttle Toten is the hardest one to get with the platform in the way, because at this point we've got assault transports attacking the platform to disable it.
Primary target. Their shields are out. Primary target update. They have been disabled.
Although it's still shooting at me. You've got to be very careful going into the map, because you stop doing any kind of evasive maneuvers and you start getting hit guaranteed every time. We're just waiting for the last transfer. You can see there now the platform's going down in terms of being disabled. There we go. I forgot to actually inspect the shuttle there, and I think the trigger for the actual craft you want to appear, and there goes the Margaret, is that the Toten must be inspected. So that's been done now. Here's the one we want. Best to get underneath the Corellian transport because its turret's on top, and the turret will still do a bit of damage to you.
You've found him. Quickly, Mule 1. Disable that ship.
That's what I'm doing. There we go.
Their shields are out. They have been
Sorted.
secondary target update. They have been captured.
Transport Sigma has been dispatched.
Let's take a look inside the cockpit. Maybe we can see Harkov. Okay, well, Harkov looks a bit like Han Solo there, and that's MK from Stock X-Wing Alliance. So he has an MK type droid with a Han Solo-ish kind of guy trying to take him off. Okay, well, you know. So yeah, that's this mission. Obviously a bit of waiting to do now while we finish off the objectives. And have I? Oh, I haven't actually inspected all the craft, have I? No. Okay, I must have missed one of them. I must have missed the transport. Okay, so I've got to go back and inspect that other transport, I think. There it is. All power to engines. Let's get this done. I think capturing Harkov won't take much time at all. There we go. All escaping craft inspected. I think those TIEs are trying to dock with my craft. That's a bug that comes up from time to time. I need to double check the mission on that one. But yeah, those TIEs are basically trying to use me as their mothership, which has happened from time to time in larger fights. Best note that one down for the bug tracker.
Harkov will be immediately brought before Lord Vader.
And I'm sure Harkov will have a nice little friendly chat with our resident Dark Lord of the Sith. Let's go find out, shall we?
Excellent work, pilot.
Welcome, Admiral Harkov. We have a matter to discuss. What is the location of your fleet? Now you shall pay for your treachery.
I always wondered in this cutscene, like, Vader almost instantly chokes him. I'm assuming that Harkov gave some information. Otherwise, that was the shortest, crappiest interrogation ever, because, like, what is the location of your fleet? Ah! Okay, now you're going to pay for your treachery. Oh, did we not want a bit of information first? But I guess we're just going to assume that some information was given there or derived. I don't know. There we go. Our 5th medal. Medal of Loyalty.
Superb work. Although we suffered a major setback with the enemy fleet largely escaping, and the unexpected loss of the interdictor thanks to the rebels' desperate and reckless acts of terrorism, you have successfully located and captured the traitor Harkov, and helped in capturing the rebel base. Harkov is on his way to a personal meeting with Lord Vader as we speak, who I'm sure is eager to have a chat with our former admiral.
Indeed.
He can tell
Nice
us
little chat.
they may have fled to. Though they may have escaped destruction this day, rest assured they will eventually be hunted down and destroyed.
I love the ever-eternal optimism of my briefing officer.
Harkov will tell Lord Vader.
Apart from capturing Harkov, the rest of the mission was a failure, but no worries. We'll get them. Rest assured.
Harkov and locating what's left of his fleet.
Can I have anything new? We've already seen the TIE Advanced model, but it is a sexy model to look at still. Let's see, 5 medals. Case is filling up now. Still haven't got any more secret order ranks. And last check of emails. Ah, Pargo again. And he really wants us to send a message to our mother. Well, fair enough. But yeah, that's the end of Battle 5. We of course will come back to the Protector and its fleet in Battle 7, but we'll talk about that when we get there. Otherwise, we're on to Battle 6 next time. We're going back to Admiral Zarin's command, and we're going to look at the TIE Defender. So join me then, and until then, good hunting.